What's good, Steelers Nation? We are back once again, another stream. My bad for messing up the time, guys. I was really struggling with that. I'm new to the live stream thing on YouTube, and that time thing was kind of kicking my butt. Um,
Lack
appreciate,
of
appreciate.
sleep too.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
yeah. Hey,
variables here.
look, man. Here's the deal. I have gotten 2.5 hours of sleep since Wednesday morning. Y'all gonna have to deal with some of my delusionalness, I guess you could say. Appreciate y'all jumping on with me, man. I am hyped up. I'm hyped up. I had to get on after that Darnell Washington pick. I was planning on going
That
to
was the
take a
one that did it
nap.
for you? All right.
I had to, man. I mean, I was really excited about Porter, and me and you've been talking up Benton for so long, so I just felt
Yeah.
like that was kind of a given, honestly. But then when they were able to trade back and still get Washington, bro, I was levitating, levitating.
Yeah. Obviously a really good night for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They did the one pick that we kind of all knew was coming in Keanu Benton, and it's sandwiched in between Joey Porter Jr. and Darnell Washington. So I think if you're looking for like clear winners, and I don't think that this is just being like a biased Steelers fan, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are where you kind of got to start when you're looking at draft winners right now. They did Broderick Jones, obviously in round one with a slight trade up. And then obviously what they were able to do in day two as well, recouping a pick, by the way, before picking Darnell Washington, moving from 80 to 93 with Carolina. So, I mean, really good business. I think Omar Khan and Andy Weidel are showing that they are more than capable in running this franchise.
Yeah, dude, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like, so when I was at the combine, I tweeted this out, and I talked to a couple people there, some really, we'll just call them big media guys,
Okay.
ESPN folks, and then some league office executives. Talked to like three different people, and I was just kind of asking, making small talk and conversation at the combine, and I asked about Omar Khan, and dude, he got glowing reviews. Everyone who knew
Yeah.
this dude, like one of the guys that I talked to, has known Omar for like 25 years, and he said
Wow.
his exact words to me were, I asked, I said, what do you think about, Omar Khan taking over for Kevin Colbert? And he said, dude, I've known this dude for 25 years. He says, that is the exact dude that needs to be running that franchise. He said, I
Sheesh.
promise you he's not going to fail. He said, this dude, he used the phrase like tireless worker. I remember he told me he had an incredible work ethic. And I just think like the way he's been moving up and down the board and just to come out swinging like this, man. I mean, even if, there is no such thing as a bulletproof draft, these picks could not pan out. But like, I just think if you look at it from like an evaluation standpoint, how in the world can you look at this haul from what they had going into the draft and look at this haul that he's got and be even remotely like anything other than ecstatic? I mean, I am levitating. Usually if the Steelers come away after the third round and they've got like one pick that I really love, like a George Pickens last year. I was really
Mm-hmm.
on the Pickens train, was super hyped about Pickens. There's usually like one of those guys per year, if that. And I feel like that's how most
Right.
NFL fans are, right? Like you only usually get like one of your guys every now and then. And not saying that these were, Broderick Jones, Joy Porter Jr., those weren't necessarily like my guys, but I like these players, and I really think that the fit's there. I think that the upside is there. He nailed all these needs and the value that he got. Dude, Darnell Washington was the 35th player on my board, goes 93rd. I know that the medicals are what they are, and who knows? We'll have to see how much that affects him moving forward. But dude,
Right.
how that is incredible value. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. And that's interesting going back to your point about how other people around the league kind of view Omar, because I know when, he kind of took over, there was a lot of pushback on that, just
Mm-hmm.
thinking that was just like staying in-house on doing so. But yeah, I mean, he's passed every test so far, in my opinion. And
Flying
yeah,
colors.
yeah, and I think the Andy Weidel edition I don't think can go understated either. I think it's funny because we were just talking about him too, and I just said, man, make him the highest paid assistant GM in the NFL right now. Like we cannot afford to lose this guy within the next year. Like it can't happen because I think he's very quickly going to become a guy on a lot of teams' radars. Like even within the
Oh,
next
100%.
cycle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, and this was the quotes that I had put out on Twitter in my notes on my phone too. But I talked about how they said, he was, quote, incredibly hardworking. But I was also told by multiple people just how smart this dude was. Like, absolutely brilliant football mind, like really engaged, tireless worker. I'm so jacked up about this, man. This is as optimistic as I've been about the Steelers. I would say, like, literally the past like month, especially this weekend, is the most optimistic I've been about the Steelers probably since 2017. I mean, it's been a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Close. I mean,
that's the last time I've truly felt like they were, contenders. And I'm not saying that this like puts them in that, like, we got to see what they do.
It's
But
the energy.
Yeah. Right.
Get this man Jake in here.
Let's go.
Jake Shaving.
Long time no see.
Yeah, draft seriously. Analyst legend.
Seriously.
Jake's a draft goat. Make sure y'all go shoot him a follow as well. Jake, I appreciate you hopping on, man. We're just over here gushing over the Steelers draft haul.
Can Omar cook even harder? Is the question.
5-star restaurant, Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know, dude. He's like Breaking Bad like level cooking right now, bro.
Hell's Kitchen.
He's in a deep bag. This is crazy.
He's making life hell for everybody else. Yeah.
I don't know. I see my guy Zach in here. He says, "Let's go." I'm still in disbelief. Like that's the way that I've described this. I've had a couple people from my friend groups that have texted me like, "Hey, yo, how you feeling about the Steelers draft?" Because everybody just makes fun of me that basically this is my favorite weekend of the year and I'm such a draft nerd. And they're like, "Hey, how you feeling this year about the haul?" And I'm like, "Dude, I am in literal disbelief. I cannot believe that this is happening for the Steelers right now." And I'm just
it seems very Ravens like.
It does. It does seem like, just from a value perspective, it does seem like really Raiders like. Danny said, "No victory laps."
Come on, Danny.
No, all of them. All of the victory laps.
Listen, at some point I've mocked them all 4 players that they've taken. That's all I'm saying. My final one had 2 of the 4 so far.
It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. My guy Mike Turner talking about Keitrell Clark.
Ooh.
Hey, Keitrell Clark, little Kevin Dodson trade for like a 5th round pick. Keitrell Clark early on day 3.
If they end up with him, or like if they get Clark Phillips in the 4th,
streaking.
Because think about it. If you're looking at this team right now, the way that they've gone through this draft, like you still have the question. I'm not trying to like rain on the parade whatsoever because you got to absolutely love what they've done. But still, who's playing in the slot right now?
Yeah, no, 100%. They've got that huge question mark still kind of hanging over them. And that's why I keep saying Clark Phillips. Everybody, it's funny because we were talking about that on the pre-draft stream about Clark Phillips. And, I don't know how you feel about him, Jake, but I just kind of kept saying, like, dude, I'm just telling you, like, the way the league works, cornerback is a stopwatch position. If you're small and you don't test really well, it doesn't, like, he does a lot of other good things. The ball production's awesome. He anticipates, play recognition. He's a playmaker. He plays bigger than his size at the catch point, but that's just how the league views these type of players. Like, they consistently fall. And that's why I was telling everybody, like, he's going day 3. He's going day 3. And here he is. He's on day 3. I think it's going to be interesting to see, just how far he falls. But I wanted to get your perspective. I didn't know if you have like a lot of thoughts on Clark Phillips, but I wanted to see if you did.
I don't think anyone played Jordan Addison better than him.
The second matchup, the first matchup I thought Addison won. The second one that Phillips really, really held his own, because the only catch he gave up was that one where he fell down, right? The deep ball, like him and Addison kind of like collided at the break point. But yeah, he did a lot better in that second matchup. And
what that tells me is, man was in the film room.
Oh yeah,
check out. Let's see what Addison's tendencies are. Let's see how I can combat that. That's huge. We like guys like that.
Yeah, really smart player, man. I think that you can tell that really, on his film. So, Steelers Network.
I like the word the word that Zach just used there. Generational, my favorite word.
Yeah, 100%. We this is a generational draft. Is this a generational post-draft stream? I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see how it ends up. I guess.
See how the views go. Oh, by the way, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell.
Yes, please like, subscribe, sub to the channels, all that stuff. That would greatly appreciate or we would greatly appreciate it, and it really helps support our content. My guy Tyler Weiss, let's go boys! What a draft!
There's way more R's than you just put on that.
You're
That was a
not my guy Tyler, one of my favorite follows, man. I know he's hyped because I'm pretty sure I've seen him talking up Darnell Washington as well in the TL, so I know that he's hype about that pick, especially for where they got him. Darnell said he don't know why teams think he has knee issues, was nearly laughing while saying it. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. Nice. I mean, do y'all think it's almost because y'all think it's just because of his build being so crazy? Like you see that sometimes in the NBA, right? Like when guys are weirdly built like that and they're really young. Like I'm not saying like Washington's extremely, extremely young at this point, but you know, those really young players that are coming into the league that have those weird builds, they often get that kind of stigma of like, is this dude going to fill into this frame? Is he going to stay healthy? Do y'all think that has something to do with it? Or do you just think there's so much smoke out there about his medicals that, you know, a lot of teams like just genuinely just knocked him completely off the board?
Yeah, I think, well, for me, I was kind of thrown off by the knee thing because we had been hearing foot. So, like, then the knee thing came. I was like, what is this? Is this something totally different? Are we misconstruing what it actually was? Or is it two different things? Like, I didn't know what was going on there with the knee thing. So that took me by surprise. I see Drew just mentioned at the bottom of here, did you ever notice he wears the bands around his knees? I really didn't. I hadn't paid attention to that.
I did, but I thought that was like just a cosmetic thing, but
it did seem like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what to think about this, but that is a good point. You know, these younger players that have these like really rare builds.
I saw that comment. I saw that.
I just wanted to make sure that you saw it. I did.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. But it is interesting that he just seems to be totally confused. I mean, that's my favorite part of this whole thing is that he's just totally confused by where it's even coming from.
Yeah. Because here's the deal. At this point, like, what does he have to necessarily lose? I guess by fronting, I guess, in front of the media. Because you know what I'm saying. It's not like, I mean, the Steelers they've already.
Let me ask. I want to ask you something because he came in like literally the last day that he could for a visit. Right? Was that maybe the reason?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they were rechecking that.
100%. Because like when we started here, when he fell out, when he fell out of the top 50, like I totally could have seen like Sam Laporta going in front of him, Michael Mayer, obviously, even Luke Musgrave. I don't personally agree with that. I get that Musgrave has the athleticism, upgrade over him, especially as a seam busting like receiver, vertical threat. But after he fell out of the top 50 in a class like this, I was like, all right, this is one of the highest floor players in the class. Something's not right here. And then when the medicals started coming in, those late visits like that, they make me always kind of think like, all right, why would they bring this guy in on the last couple of days? Another guy that's like that was Chandler Zavala for NC State. Mm-hmm. He's had some trouble staying healthy, but I've just been like reading the tea leaves and kind of it's gotten my mind kind of, running a little bit. And, Pat Mayer was at his pro day at NC State. Of course, he has connections there because he used to be their strength and conditioning coach. But he went to see Zavala at the pro day. Zavala didn't get invited to the combine. He blows the pro day up. I mean, like tests like a 99th percentile athlete, right? And then literally like 4 days later, Pittsburgh randomly has him in for a top 30. So it's just like, I think about those stuff like, why is that? Like, because there's a reason for everything, even if it's not like, hey, we're definitely going to pick this guy. There's something they're trying to figure out about that guy.
That's a good name, though, to keep an eye on, by the way, for day 3.
I mocked him to the Steelers. Actually, I mocked him to the Steelers at 80. I like Zavala a lot. I know that he has a lot of fans among like, hardcore draft analysts. He was somebody that I got to like really late in the process, but the limited stuff that I could find, some of which was broadcast view, was pretty freaking good. I'm actually going to find another question, then I'm going to go look up the last couple picks of the draft.
There's been a lot of comments coming in that. So
yeah, I had to run to the gas station, so I missed the final couple picks. I need to get caught up on who's there.
Raiders pick.
Here we'll go with this.
Yeah,
Kid Phillips or Ringo really.
Don't look at the Raiders pick.
Don't look at the Raiders pick. Okay,
they took a Cincinnati receiver that wasn't Tyler Scott.
Not the correct one.
They took Trey Tucker over Tyler Scott.
Yeah. Yep.
What?
It's the Raiders.
That's why I said don't look. It was homage to Al Davis. It had to be.
Can Phillips
Yeah,
or
I mean, I know,
Ringo really fall to
but
us?
Scott can fly too. It's not even like Tucker.
Yeah.
Tucker's fast. I guess Scott is a little bit faster, right? Probably.
Yeah, it's true.
Can Phillips or Ringo really fall to us? Says Steel Wolverine. Great name, by the way.
Where do they pick?
It's the NFL draft. Anything can happen. That's what I'm saying. At this point, I think probably somebody. You got to think somebody takes a shot on Ringo earlier than when the Steelers pick. I think there's a good chance that Phillips is there, though. Honestly, so if that's where they want to go, I'd have no problem with that.
That's such good value too, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm just I don't know. I keep coming back to this name for Phillips, and it's not like an exact comp, like a stylistic comp, but this is the type of player that I think Phillips could potentially become if he is a little more of a reliable tackler in the league. That's something he's got to get cleaned up on. But like, I think about Kenny Moore, and he was like really undervalued through like his process. Did he even get drafted, or he was like day 3? He was really unheralded coming out. But he
Might have
goes
been
and
UD, I think.
he's had a really good NFL career. He's gotten paid, been one of the best cover slot guys in the league. Not necessarily a guy that I think has the typical athleticism the league looks at. Then I think about a guy like Clark Phillips, like could definitely go day 3. He ends up winning the slot job. He gets 3-4 interceptions per year. Because I think he has that type of ball production. He's a little bit of a gambler, but
He was undrafted.
Yeah,
a lot of the time.
Valdez-
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
What is this college?
Valdosta State.
Valdosta
Yeah.
State. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I think Phillips could
I
potentially
like how
have
you
a
guys are
similar
just. Is
type
that like
ceiling.
you guys are saying that to me like that was like ridiculous that I was at
Well-
like it was Alabama.
Well, I mean, there are players in the league. Jody Fortson went there.
You gotta understand, Jake's been
I'm just
grinding
saying.
like
I'm saying.
Oh, Valdosta
D3
State.
guys
I'm just
since
saying.
like May. Tyler Weiss, I just almost like screamed when you put this in the chat.
Isaiah McGuire.
Isaiah McGuire, I need it. I need
He
it.
didn't go. How?
After I watched, of course, because I just got done cutting up all that Broderick Jones film. That's another reason why I think I'm even more hype about Darnell Washington, because I got to see more of Darnell Washington last night when I was doing the cut ups for Jones in the film room. Dominating. But anyway, no, Isaiah McGuire, the end of the Broderick Jones video gives you a good idea of what
Man, with
Isaiah
the way he
McGuire could be
tested.
at the next level. Jake, did you like him? I kind of thought that I kind of wondered if the Packers would like him. I don't know if he necessarily fits like their measurements, but
I think he just clears. I think he's a little bit lighter than guys like Harrison, who would have definitely fit them. But like he was definitely a guy like the measurables checked. I put him on in a round 3 fits video for sure. I was like, there's just if he's at 78 and they haven't taken an edge, absolutely.
where did I had him in that same range too on my big board. I'm about to pull that up real quick.
It wouldn't shock me if the Bears haven't picked an edge yet. They pick first tomorrow.
Well.
Just saying.
Look who's made his way to the comments. Nick Martin.
Nick, my guy. Yeah, I have Isaiah McGuire at 76. I put for my one-liner in the big board, I put premier power rusher who will run right through your chest. Yeah, and another thing about McGuire is like he's got some bend to him. Like he's a speed to power
Wait.
guy, but he can bend.
Adebaware didn't go either.
Yeah, Adebaware didn't go.
Nope.
Tyler said Clark Phillips training. I'm the conductor. Dude, these comments are coming in so fast.
Yeah, that was a while
Chris,
ago, I feel like.
Center needs to
Is
be
it, man?
addressed somehow. One Coke. I'm gonna assume Cole. Oh,
Yeah, he said Coke
he
twice.
tried to
and then,
to fix it twice.
This
No,
autocorrect
hey,
going wild.
we need Ricky
bro.
Stromberg. Ricky Stromberg at 120. How about that?
He went.
Nick must have fallen asleep. Nah, Nick's in the chat, man. He just not getting on. He already, his voice is gone.
Wait, what? Who said something about Ricky Stromberg? Because he got picked.
Me.
Yeah,
Did he go? Did he go?
Washington picked him 97th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is why I got to get caught up on the picks. I'm looking at the
Yeah.
best available. Hold
It
on.
was really unfortunate.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on.
I mean, but Whippler and Oluwatimi didn't go.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't love Oluwatimi. Or actually, I was a little bit lower on Whippler too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know that. I thought he would come off the board by now, but
Yeah.
I
I'm
didn't
with you. I had Stromberg as somebody who should have gone today as well. Like, very confused. Everybody was talking about all the Big Ten dudes.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, I think
Nobody
a
seemed to
lot of
mention
teams
him.
were talking about Stromberg not being a center. I think that was like even if
I like
don't
him
know,
at
like,
center, man. I think
yeah.
he can play guard. I like him
Yeah.
at center though. Michael Wilson at 94, dude. If Michael Wilson stays healthy, I mean,
Cardinals low key did pretty well.
They're off to a good start with that rebuild.
I don't know. Washington's kneecap is the new Ben boots. What's wrong with y'all, man? Daniel Jeremiah
type of humor you get around the
was his
412.
favorite day too. Yeah, I saw that actually. Yeah, Daniel Jeremiah really liked it. Clark
You know, I've
Phillips,
always
tomorrow
liked
we
Daniel Jeremiah.
build Omar Khan a statue. Hell yeah.
I got it already in my basement. Working on one myself.
Is that what you've been doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's chiseling.
I've also only slept 2.5 hours since Wednesday, but it wasn't because I was making YouTube videos. Working on the statue down here.
Just been putting in an absolute banger.
Is the draft world and the Steelers draft world making you a statue, Smitty? I'm gonna victory lap for you right here. I'm gonna victory lap for you, Broderick and Keanu.
Not me that said it. Not me that said it.
Clark Phillips comp Chris Harris for the Broncos. Hey man.
Okay.
That's the type of player they got.
Hey, my guy Mike does his draft homework. I've been pretty impressed with Mike. A lot of you guys are bringing the draft knowledge here. I'm impressed with a lot of your all's research, which I guess, no offense to all of you guys that are in the chat. I'm just speaking as nice as I can possibly say this. You've got some issues if you're coming onto my stream at 12:30 on a Friday night, like as if you guys also don't have anything better to do than to talk NFL draft with freaking maniacs like me, Zach, and Jake. But
Amen.
I'm impressed with some of y'all's draft knowledge, man. Y'all are really
I love it.
Y'all are really grinding.
I love it. Mike dropped a John Gaines too. The comments, I see it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Well, Jake, I want to get your thoughts on Attaboy. I think that's who he's.
Yeah, Adetomiwa.
Adetomiwa, yeah.
First name base. Mike's on a first name basis with him. That's why.
Yeah. He calls him Ade on the weekends. Yeah, I mean, I think it was interesting because I feel like the film shows you a few things that maybe you saw in Mobile, right? With the get off, like he's legitimately out of his stance before like anybody else in Northwestern's even moving. It's absolutely wild. But I feel like he just kind of got stuck a lot. You know, when he's in contact phase, he just got stuck. And that was kind of the thing. I was a little underwhelmed because you saw him in Mobile just, you know, the club move for him was almost as devastating as Benton's. And then he was just pushing dudes back with explosion to power. Like that was, he lit it up when he needed to, but I think teams might have been just like, yeah, but you know,
where's the consistency?
Yeah.
The first step was definitely the thing that I was, continually noting when I was watching him. And that was why I was like, okay, I can kind of get on board. I'm really surprised. The Bears seemed like they took all of the developmental interior defensive linemen that are traitsy. So that was kind of interesting because they took Pickens and they took Dexter too, right? They took both those guys. Very similar.
3 techs.
Yeah, very similar kind of tools over production or tools over technique kind of approach for them.
Oh yeah.
Man, look at Chris Harris and Chris Harris, Clark Phillips, Rascom. That's a good one, man. I didn't really think about that, but that's a good one. Who's our ideal 7th round 241 and 251 pick, boys?
I already saw mine in here, and I said it earlier. Servassier Dennis.
Servassier Dennis.
Okay. Another one would be I'm just going through here and thinking who would probably be around at that point. Maybe like a Jose Ramirez at Eastern Michigan.
Another guy in my top 100 that's still on the board.
There you go.
Yeah, I like Ramirez a lot, man. From the same college as Max Crosby. He lit it up at the Shrine Bowl, man. Like there wasn't a single cat there that was going to block him. I'll kind of throw out a name for, Jaron Hall or a quarterback, a Clayton Tune, a guy, any of those guys. They're going to take a quarterback in round 7 if like one of those guys is there. I'm just going to throw a guy out there that I think is going to end up a Steeler, whether it's with that last pick or a priority free agent. It's Memphis safety Quindell Johnson. 4-year starter, 3,000 snaps, position versatility. He's played all over the secondary. I have heard that he was, pretty much the leader of that defense. Ball skills, 10 career picks. He has 4-phase special teams experience, 6 foot, 200 pounds, 4.53 40-yard dash. So keep an eye on him if he's still on the board at that point in the draft.
I like the Shaka Hayward shout from Mike Turner too. You mentioned him.
Yeah.
Oh, you did. Yeah.
Chris said it's 9 o'clock in Vegas. Man, absolutely. What
And
about
Mafi.
that? Would be nice.
Yeah.
I'm a novice. What do you guys know? I can. Man, yeah, Dennis would be really interesting. What do you guys think about? Would you guys rather? Let's just do a would you rather. Would you guys rather take? Let's just say Clark Phillips or Nick Herbig in the 4th round.
Oh, you
just from a value, from a value perspective. Who do you like better as a player? Who do you have ranked higher, Jake?
Clark Phillips. I do, at least. Man, it's still tough. I like Herbig, but then
you think he can play edge? Do you think he can play edge at the next level?
I guess if the runway's wide enough, yeah.
The runway's wide enough. That's like something I would say to hedge. I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah, if the runway's wide enough, we're cooking. But I don't know.
I'll answer this question. Anyone like Brenton Cox Jr.? I would be very surprised if he's on the Steelers board. I heard some less than great things in Indianapolis at the combine.
It's a great question.
Somebody just mentioned
no.
Robert Beal, by the way, who the Steelers did have in.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he was a guy that I mocked. I think I mocked them. I don't know. He's definitely the guy. If they don't get an edge in round 4, I mean, that could definitely be the 7th round pick. Jalen Hyatt fell almost to 80. I'm on potential undrafted free agents. Respect. Love that.
For it.
Yeah, Lonnie Phillips is a guy, another interesting name, Tyler.
Yep.
Yeah, this is really difficult with him because, when he hasn't played where he's potentially going to play at the next level, it does make for some difficult.
So what I did was I went onto Madden and I imported the draft class and then I played him off-ball linebacker and he sucked.
And how'd he do?
He sucked.
Okay.
So
we can't do that. We need to keep him at edge then.
I got Clark Phillips.
So call Omar Khan, who we know you've been talking to because he's giving you all of these picks. Bro. He's tipping them to you. Yasir Abdullah, my dog. That's another guy.
How about though today?
Yeah.
Going.
Diaby Webb. It's wild.
Hey, we talked about last night though. The Bucks, they needed to get faster up front. They needed to get pass rushing. Getting Yaya, getting Cansey.
I didn't think it would be this early, but
that's the cool value. You could probably argue the value of it, but yeah, I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, when it's at 82, just go get him. You like him?
Yeah,
make it happen.
I mean, in a class like this, I think it's a little bit less risky because it's pretty shallow in general. So if you want your guy,
Daniel Scott.
Yasir Abdullah, man, that would be one of my favorite. That would be one of my favorite picks. He was so freaking productive for Louisville last year. I have a Louisville buddy of mine at work that literally swears up and down he should have won ACC Player of the Year over Kalijah Cansey. I don't agree with that take, but just to give you an idea, of what he could potentially do as a sleeper, he was that type of productive last year, and he's another guy who plays. He has some tape playing off ball at the Shrine Bowl when he was getting coached up, by the Patriots and those coaching staffs. They were having him take reps at edge and off ball linebacker. So I thought that was particularly impressive too. The fact that he was able to retain and process all of that information on a short week, able to play 2 positions. And when he was coming off the edge, I talked about the tackles there not being the greatest or not being able to handle Jose Ramirez. They weren't blocking Yasir Abdullah either. So he's a guy that I really like. We were talking about Jalen Hyatt got injured, how he could fall like George did last year. Yeah, Hyatt ended up going around where I had him ranked, so I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing for him.
Because, Mid Kuiper did a breakdown on his route tree over on the Round 4 and 2 stream.
Absolutely.
How long was that? How long was the stream? It was about 10 seconds. Did you just draw a straight line?
I basically just said he stinks. So
you want to share it here? We can.
Yeah.
I have the image. I'm serious. The success rate is in the green for go and flat.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's it.
Steelers showed Abdullah a lot of attention at the combine. I know I was the one who was talking to him at that point.
I would have loved that.
I liked that because luckily, so at the combine they have the bigger podiums, and then on the side they have some of the lesser known prospects, and he was on the side. So literally, I got basically a one-on-one interview with him for a good like 6-7 minutes, and then as he was walking off, I talked to him for a little bit too. So yeah, Yasir's my guy. I'm super excited to see where him and Kitro, my Louisville guys, end up. I'm rooting for them, obviously.
Well, Keytro's gonna be in Pittsburgh, but yeah, I don't know about Abdullah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. Jake, give me your pick for day 2 that you're surprised by.
I know it. I would say I'm a little surprised that DJ Johnson went 80.
That was
Carolina. That was a little surprising to me. I know Nagy talked him up the last couple of weeks, obviously, as a guy that people were sleeping on an edge. That shocked me a little bit, when you're talking about a few guys that are still here at edge, like we talked about McGuire still available. Like,
yeah, that's
I don't know.
to me.
Seemed kind of surprising. Then obviously Diaby going 2 picks later to the same division.
There's a weird stretch in the second round to me. Yeah. I mean, it was Seattle, so we should have known, like Zach Charbonnet. But then you look
surprising.
Like not that far down the board. Brenton Strange to Jacksonville, and then Juice Scruggs, 61 and 62.
Yeah,
Them Penn State boys.
Hendon Hooker, the Lions getting their quarterback of the past. Yeah,
I thought.
No.
We were talking about this in our stream, like when it happened, but like Zach Pickens to Chicago, where it was. Maybe.
Yeah.
But
I was only surprised that they took him and Dexter.
There. Yeah, they just want all the 3 techs.
Yeah, it's Eberflus. It's Eberflus.
I know that he requires that, but it was just like, okay, if you're going to take multiple of those guys, I would think that you would probably want to take one of them that was good at football right now instead of taking 2 of them that the idea of them is exciting, but neither one of them I don't think are going to be like extremely good rookies. But then again, I guess Chicago's at that point, man, where they're just like, screw it, we're a year away at least anyway. So we just want to get
100%.
however many upside picks as we can possibly get.
Yeah, those are great 2024 picks if they hit, That's basically how you almost treat it. It's
Yeah. I'm just trying to go through some of these picks from the second
I see
round.
the strange comments. I mean, he's tough. He's a tough son of a gun, and he blocks his butt off. Yeah. I think it was just surprising to see him go before like Tucker Kraft.
I mean, we
and obviously Darnell.
We got to mention that too.
Yeah.
Wait, was Derrick even? Or were you gone at that point?
I was dreaming about that at 78. I can't believe it happened.
Derrick, you know a kicker went, right?
What?
Think about who would do that.
Was it freaking Tampa?
No.
Oh.
But the colors are pretty similar. Colors are pretty
same conference.
Similar. Was it Arizona?
No.
Same division now.
No, close.
Who? Just tell me. I don't care enough about the kicker.
San Fran, baby.
Can you imagine being a Niners fan? I mean, I know their roster's great,
Top
but like
100.
they just waited. They just waited freaking 2 full nights to get on the draft scene. You got everybody else excited about their players' picks, and all of a sudden you get a freaking kicker. That would be the most.
Yeah, they ended up with they traded up for Jair Brown, and then they went Jake Moody and Cameron Latu.
Okay. Don't love any of those picks if I'm going to be completely honest with you.
They had one player on their board, Jair Brown. They're like, all right, we got to trade up for him. And that's like, oh, we have to select still? Okay.
Yeah.
Who's here?
Yeah, they had one top 30 visit.
Let's talk about fits that we really like in round 2.
Okay.
I'm going to go first. I think my favorite fit, well, I'll give you one of my favorite fits for round 2 and then my favorite fit for round 3. I think my favorite fit for round 3 was Dorian Williams to the Bills.
Oh, round 3. Okay.
Dude, him taking over Tremaine Edmonds' role as like the coverage guy in the middle of their zone defense with those long arms and his feel and coverage, how athletic he is next to Matt Milano, that was a fantastic pick, I thought. I love the fit there. There was some round 2 picks. I'm not going to get started on Brian Branch because y'all have heard that take before. It's just it's easy, low hanging fruit. Julius Brents was such a easy pick to the Colts.
Yeah. I was going to mention another corner one, Garrett Williams and Jonathan Gannon's defense in Arizona. Really like that.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Jair Light. Somebody said, who said that? Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I like Garrett Williams though.
Yeah.
This guy.
Laporta to the Lions. I actually really like what the Lions did on day two. They kind of bounced back a little bit, getting Laporta where they did in Branch.
Last night took an L. Tonight they bounced back.
Well, I don't know. Round 3.
Wait, Broderick Martin.
They took Broderick Martin.
Yeah,
Steelers,
I don't know if you missed
Steelers
that
were
pick.
linked to him a little bit, if I remember correctly. Nick really liked him. I don't know if he's still in the chat or
Yeah,
if
but
he's went to bed,
96.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking like late day 3, not freaking top 100.
Yeah, and then they moved up for Hendon Hooker, which I mean,
well, you love that. You've got to anytime you can move up for a quarterback at the tail end of his prime, you have to do it. I mean, you've just got to do it, no matter what. It just makes too much sense. I don't get
roller coasting their draft. They're roller coasting their draft right now. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I totally forgot that CJ Gardner-Johnson was in Detroit.
Yeah, it's literally the. I mean, you can't have enough of those types.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll throw out one.
Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler said running back.
Tyler Steen's in the perfect spot because he's playing guard. So
yeah,
like he's going inside to Philly where he doesn't have to play tackle. Like this is Philly doing something good is probably still low hanging fruit, I guess. But I just think the fit for Steen's nice. And I'll throw another offensive lineman out there. Again, another guy who's probably kicking inside. Matthew Bergeron to guard for Atlanta. I mean, not going to play tackle. Mean streak in the run game a little bit. Got a little bit of that action. And Arthur Smith's going to like that immediately.
Can we talk about our guy, Quan Martin, going to Washington? Like, what is that?
Smitty and I were devastated, bro.
Yeah.
It just the most somber part of the stream.
It just seems like, what's the point? You know? Like, what's the point? You're going to Washington. We're not going to get to see you play.
You might as well retired tonight.
Yeah.
Like,
it's depressing. It really is. But, good for him. Top 50 player goes top 50. I mean, smart.
Yeah, baby.
I don't know.
John Michael Schmitz to the Giants at 57. Like, I think they could have taken him at 25 and been
that's what everybody was mocking. The center to the Giants at 25. So,
59, Osiris Torrance, Buffalo. Makes a ton of sense.
I would like to apologize to them. I'd like to apologize to Buffalo. I wasn't really familiar with your game. I absolutely crushed them when they picked Dalton Kincaid. With all the trench help that was still on the board for them and what happened to them in the playoffs, it just felt, I don't know. Remember, Derrick, I asked you that question. I said, if the Bills take a receiver, are they unserious?
Yeah.
And they went and took a receiving tight end. Like, I get it. He's going to be good. But, like, is that really why you lost the game against the Bengals?
You are correct there. And like we talked about on the stream last night, there ain't nothing worse than just getting your soul taken from you. In the trenches, and that's pretty much what happened to Buffalo. But I just think that the Bills
I'll be right back,
were looking at Patrick Mahomes and being like, all right, he's got Travis Kelce. We've seen the wonders that those two can do together. What if we went out and did something very similar? And I'm not saying that Kincaid's going to be Kelce, but just he moves kind of similar. Yeah, he moves similar. And I really do believe that Kincaid was the best pass catcher in this class, man. The best hands, 150 plus, I think, catches and only, 2 drops in college? I mean, just
I think that's
absurd hands. Really good after the catch. He's just really fluid. Like, he's not overly athletic to where he's freakish, but, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, man, he's going to go off. But I do agree with you. I mean, you could definitely make the case that they probably should have taken like Mozzie Smith. Like I would have understood you arguing that, even though Kincaid's higher on my board, Mozzie Smith was probably more of a immediate need just based on what bounced them out the playoffs, right?
And all I'm going to say is with that too, as it compounded after that Bill selection, what did the Bengals do and what did the Chiefs do in round 1? They both took edge rushers.
Yeah.
I think they understood the assignment a little bit there.
Yeah, that is true.
And again, I could be completely wrong on it. And like, it may not matter as much, and the Bills may have just plugged in Torrance and maybe things will be a little bit better. But I just feel like everything just seemed overwhelmed when Von Miller wasn't there. And, and the offensive line, like the Spencer Brown pick has really not panned out for them. Like, I feel like they feel very middling up front on the offensive line too. And it just seemed like, okay, it's cool that you did the luxury thing, but at the same time, I'm a little disappointed.
Do you have the right foundation?
Yeah, if you have the foundation to get, it's just because there were guys there, like you said, Mozzie, like Nolan Smith. How sick would it be to kind of have Nolan Smith on your defense, right?
Yeah.
That's
a good point.
It kind of stunk just a little bit. I'm like,
one kind of sneaky pick that I liked, just from a fit perspective, was Marvin Mims to the Broncos. They're gonna trade one of those receivers. There's been some Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy trade talk. KJ Hamler is like made of glass. But like you get Marvin Mims with the moonball thrower himself. I mean, Russ is going to say, F it, throw it up there somewhere a couple times a game. And he's going to take at least, 7 or 8 vertical shots. And I think Mims was really underutilized. And that's like right where I valued him on my big board too. So I think that fit is perfect for him. He can really, really ball. He can high point the football, great vertical jump, former basketball player, basketball background. I like the fit with Russ, man. I mean, I don't know. Russ, he might be completely cooked, but I still think that he's at least a good enough deep ball thrower to where Mims could probably hit his potential at least sooner rather than later.
And I think Mims gives you, he can adjust favorably.
Oh yeah,
like body at control. The moment of truth. It's insane to watch him just like last Texas moment game. Contort for the football. Like I really impressed there. And yeah, I mean, you mentioned it, the speed to get vertically. That's what they needed. They needed a healthy guy to get vertically, right?
Can we talk a little bit about the Bengals on day 2? I'm a little bit confused about the Bengals strategy. So I'm not saying that these were bad value plays. DJ Turner going number 60. I think he was number 49 on my big board. I don't hate it, but you have Mike Hilton and you have Daxton Hill. Do you need DJ Turner? Is he playing on the outside?
I think they're going to have him play on the outside.
Okay, if you play him on the outside, I mean, because I guess you can try him there.
Cheeto's in his last year.
And he's coming off the serious injury.
Yeah. So I feel like I kind of expected them to go corner at some point.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are mocking Forbes to them at 28 is like, oh, this is where Forbes is going to sneak in. So.
Okay. I mean, maybe I can get on board with it. Jordan Battle, again, another player that went around the same place as I had him on my big board. And I think Jordan Battle can be a perfectly fine safety. But again, you have Daxton Hill, and didn't they sign Nick Scott too?
Mm-hmm.
They did,
to a multi-year deal. I don't know. I'm just like wondering like what the thought process is there. I mean, other than just maybe just taking good football players in their minds. I don't know.
Could be
interesting. I think they got value with the Miles Murphy pick early on. I kind of like the.
Well, I think that kind of set the precedent. I think that was what it was about. It was just like, we're just going to take the best football players in these spots and just get good value at each spot.
Mike, what do you know about Nick Jones from Ball State? I think he'd be a good nickel pickup in the 7th. I don't know a ton about him. I know that I saw him at the Shrine Bowl. He had some impressive reps on one-on-ones. But aside from the Shrine Bowl, I didn't get the chance to watch too much of him, unfortunately. I don't think Battle and DJ Turner were bad picks. I'm just curious on like how this whole secondary thing, because they did kind of something similar last year too, right? They took Dax, who I loved coming out, and then they took Cam Taylor-Britt, and then I'm like, okay, there was people at the combine telling me that there were NFL teams that viewed Daxton as a corner, not a safety or a nickel, like an outside corner. And then there was people throughout the process. me being one of them that viewed Cam Taylor-Britt as a better safety than corner. So I'm trying to piece the puzzles together on what Cincinnati could be cooking up over there. They got a good roster, so I mean, it'll work out one way or another.
About to go crazy.
Yeah. I'm so tired of him, dude. I can't believe he didn't get a freaking head coaching job.
I really thought he was going to Arizona.
I think maybe Anarumo was kind of like, Arizona? Do I want to go there? Do I want to wait for the next opening? Perhaps.
I don't know. I mean, they're kind of cooking in their first cycle.
They are. They are.
It's the Cardinals, man.
It's going to take a while, but
it's
we'll see what
they're
happens.
still going to win 3 games, but like, you know, they'll get a lot of highlights, I think, from their guys.
Yeah. I want to ask the chat this real quick. Just real quick before I ask this question, please make sure that you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to both channels. Appreciate that. Helps support the channel. And I appreciate you guys for hopping on here at 1 a.m. Y'all are some freaking sickos. I want to ask you guys, we've talked a lot about doubling down at corner, but I think I'm of the opinion, one of the corners has to be able to play in the slot. Obviously, Joey Porter Jr., a boundary specific, scheme specific too, in my opinion, corner on the outside. What do we think about if it gets to pick 120? I mean, what do you guys think about taking Keely Ringo? I mean, if he were to get there, like, would you guys do it? Like, I mean, the Steelers don't have anything behind. I mean, they don't have anything in the cut board at the moment at corner for the future. Would you guys take Ringo and just say like, hey, we're going to believe that, sometime in the near future, him and Porter Jr. are our guys on the boundary, and we're going to try to develop them at the same time? Or would you consider a Darius Rush, another boundary corner, or do you guys feel like, it has to Corey Trice, another guy, or do you guys feel like it has to be a slot corner?
Man, I love those names you just threw out there afterwards.
Trice
Especially when you said
baby.
Corey Trice, you really
Trice
got
season,
me.
baby.
Yeah, you really reeled me in. I would have a hard time hating the pick if they took Ringo there, just because I get it. Like, I get you throwing the dart there on what he is, or what he could be, I should say. So, but for me, that leaves you still, okay, you got Ringo, and then you still got the question mark. Okay, who's playing in the slot when we open up the season? So you maybe have a developmental piece there for the boundary. And I know that some people are even viewing him as a safety, Keely Ringo. So it'll be interesting to see, but I'd still be questioning, okay, who's in the slot right now when we open up the season?
Right.
And you also didn't get, because that's a spot where you could go Herbig and get like that edge or off-ball linebacker.
So you just think they don't have enough picks?
Like, yeah, exactly. I don't think they have enough picks to throw that dart.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if they're drafting Ringo, I think it's a great play for 2024, especially if you still view him as a corner. Like, I get he's big, fast, and we've just body control transitionally, and open the gate early. I just think there's a lot. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? So I know people are like, convert him to safety. You got to be a really good processor at the corner position if you're going to think about playing safety.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just run around with your head cut off playing the safety position, man. There's way too much going on that you have to pay attention to. Yeah, that's what concerns me about moving him there.
Well, and it's interesting too, because Steve brought up a good point here about Patrick Peterson, like he's openly talked about this, like on his podcast and stuff, about how he's going to be moving around, probably playing some safety too. So like, that's better. That might be out of the question anyway. But yeah, I really don't know what the answer is at slot to open up the season.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just an interesting thing, because I was talking a little bit about just with Nick Martin. He was talking about like his like dream scenario if the Steelers waited on a cornerback was like Joey Porter Jr. and Corey Trice, and just going flat out like, all right, we're just going to put these big, long, ginormous cornerbacks with length, and we're just going to press you all day long. And I kind of mess with it, to be honest. Like, even if it would be it would leave you a little susceptible in the slot, and I do think that that's a need. I don't know, man. It's going to be, because here's the thing, like with them just having the 4th round pick and then they don't pick again, unless they give up a 2024 pick and pick up like a 5th round pick or something like that, or
That Loudermilk route.
Kevin Dotson, yeah, something like that. They're not going to pick again for a while, so it seems like we're going to leave this draft without that edge off-ball linebacker type or a slot corner. I don't think neither one of those are great, but every team has holes. I mean, let's just be honest. Like, not that we're saying the Steelers are going to win a Super
They're
Bowl next year,
still
but
like I think I trust them more to go out. I don't know if I actually never mind because Malik Reed was nothing last year. I was just saying I trust them to go out on the market and get something at edge. I think is like a piece as opposed to finding a slot guy. But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if that's true.
yeah.
Like if you have to dive into this last wave of free agency basically, or sending like a pick, a 2024 day 3 pick somewhere for like a Malik Reed like they did last year, something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it does seem like we're probably going to end up in that situation, right? Where a late training camp ad, somebody, a veteran gets released because of a rookie, playing better in training camp or preseason than expected, some type of salary cap type of move. It seems like we might be in another Malik Reed situation, a late ad at one of those positions because
hopefully it's a better player than Malik Reed.
Yeah. I still remember, bro. I still remember that when I did the film room on Malik Reed, and I was like, dude, this dude's he's a serviceable, like a baseline edge 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like someone was literally like angry with me on Twitter, and he was like, dude, this dude can push for Alex Highsmith. He had 6 sacks last year and everything else. And I was like, no. I'm gonna come back to this one. And needless to say that that take didn't look very good for that guy, but that was pretty brutal, to be honest. But yeah, Malik Reed was total non-factor last year, and I would.
That's the thing. Mike is mentioning the edge talent that's still left in free agency. Yeah, it's just you don't know what like roles those guys are looking for. Maybe I mean, if they're still in free agency, they're still in free agency. But it's got to be a guy accepting of being an edge 3. We don't need another.
We've already been through that, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's a tough one. All right, guys, I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. I'm not streaming for an hour and a half tonight, so we're not gonna stream for very much longer. I've got some work I got to get done, and then I'm gonna try to take a nap. So, if you guys got any more questions, drop them in the chat. I do want to talk a little bit about just day 3, guys. Jake, give me a couple, maybe like one on offense, one on defense, or if you got a couple on both sides of the ball that you want to shout out. Some of your favorite guys that are still available for tomorrow's draft.
Let's see. Offensive side of the ball. I just want to mention this guy's name just because I think he has the Senior Bowl had him playing legitimately everywhere. Watched a couple broadcast games because that's all I could find.
I already know where you're going.
You think? Okay. Nick Saldiveri, Old Dominion. I mean, Packers even in the broadcast games, he's playing right guard and right tackle. Like he's playing everywhere. Like some extension that he's generating, some nice technique there.
That's not the comment I was trying to highlight.
Oh,
that's not it either.
Now that is sleep, sir. Oh my goodness.
Look, man, when you're a night owl like your boy is, it is what it is. I only sleep about 3 hours at a time, pretty much every night except maybe Sunday. So,
wow.
Carter Warren's a good name. Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good.
Who was your other guy, defensive guy, Jake, that you like on day 3?
Man, there's just I like the role he can play in a defense that needs this role. Jaquelin Roy, from LSU. Think there's some one tech there for a team that's going to need it. I think there are a lot of teams that will. So yeah, that's one guy. I got to shout out once again my boy Corey Trice because he's awesome, great player. We've mentioned him a bunch, but I had to again.
Yeah,
had to.
Zach, what you got? Hit me.
I like a couple of the receiver names left. I like Bryce Ford Wheaton. I also think Parker Washington could be a dude. And then I don't think I need to say Puka Nakua's name again. We already talked about Corey Trice, who I really like. Oh, Cam Mitchell, Northwestern.
That's a good one.
You're muted, by the way, Derek. You might need that 1 a.m. nap.
Yikes. That's embarrassing. No, I'm surprised that Jake didn't bring up Chris Smith. That was kind of
I
baiting
really
him
wanted
into
to.
He's
it.
not
man.
allowed to anymore. He reaches
Yeah,
limit.
Okay.
I've been
Gotcha.
blocked with my the amount of times I've mentioned that guy. I was like, I could say the name, but like, am I gonna be? Everybody's gonna be like, man, this guy's not a real analyst. He just talks about Chris Smith all the time.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean,
love
we
him,
brought up
though.
a lot of the
I love him.
Steelers specific targets already, so I'll just kind of give you some other ones. I would love to see Izzy Abanikanda go to a zone blocking scheme. I know that Miami got Devon A-Chain, which I liked, but I was thinking Izzy for them, and I was going to really like that because I think he reminds me a little bit of Mostert coming out.
Hey,
Some
what do you
other
think about,
guys.
real quick,
Go ahead.
Dwayne McBride?
Powerful.
Because, like, if you look at the numbers.
Oh
that
yeah,
he's
like
put up,
analytically,
Yeah.
the analytics love that guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly didn't watch too much of him though. I couldn't tell you. I was pretty light on the
But
running
he's
back
all
class
over the
this
board.
year.
So,
Yeah. I think there was an RB3 ranking for him that someone had. I don't remember who it was.
well, Trevor
was it
Sikkema had
Trevor
like
Sikkema? It was
Yeah.
Trevor Sikkema. Okay, I thought it was. I couldn't remember who it was at PFF, but
Mhm.
I mean, I remember his 2021 Georgia game was honestly really impressive. The fact that he was being hung out to dry because the offensive line couldn't block any of these guys, and who can really, and the fact that he was generating some 3-6 yard gains against guys who were contacting him in the backfield. Yeah, I mean, throw him some short yardage stuff and let him cook. Roshan Johnson not going today stinks.
Yeah.
That stinks. I really wanted him to go today.
Top 100
I've seen
player
the
for me.
Chris Carson comps. I've seen the Samaje Perine comps. Dude blocks his butt off. He's literally been asked to be backside and split zone. Like, what other running back do you ever see do that? And they're like, oh yeah, can you lead block for Bijan, by the way? Like, there's just like things he was asked to do, man. Just answering the call, doing that. And then when he gets his own carries, he's making guys miss. He's running them over. Like, just get that guy in a rotation with some carries.
He's gonna be a Patriot, by the way, because he can also add some special teams value.
Yeah,
man. Do they need to take more of them? Do they need to take more running backs? Give it to me at 116.
I've seen Deuce Vaughn like mock to the Patriots a bunch. All right, yeah. I mean, I feel like we've mentioned so many of these guys already. J.L. Skinner, man, from Boise State. That was a guy that I really liked in the summer. The injury stuff, man. Like, he's had such a brutal freaking path of luck over the course of the draft process. A very uniquely built safety, huge, long arms. Can provide some thump, play some overhang. He plays a little bit in the slot, can play some too high. Interesting player, man. I wish he was healthy because I feel like he would have had a chance to go day 2 for sure.
Derek, people are bringing up DeJuan Jones in the chat.
Look, man, here's the deal. If we're going to bring up DeJuan Jones,
he's off the board.
Why is he still on the board? Why is he still here?
Yeah.
Many are asking.
Yeah, Ivan Pace. That was the next guy I was going to bring up. Ivan Pace, this dude just absolutely is a baller. That dude's a hitter. Great Senior Bowl too. I kind of thought that he was gonna. I thought that he had a chance to rise, but he's just so small. Like, I don't know.
Toss out Anthony Johnson Jr.
Yeah,
really quick. Iowa State corner turn safety.
Oh yeah, former first rounder. Who did that?
Someone in here, right? That's awkward.
But yeah, I mean, like, guy was getting asked to play off coverage in the slot and having to run with dudes, really loose hips for a pretty big dude at safety. Day 3 is lottery tickets. There may be one there.
Yeah.
By the way, I wasn't talking about Jake, by the way.
Oh yeah, here we go.
When I said who did that, I was talking about Chris Collinsworth.
I know.
DBTs knowing the real reason DeJuan Jones only had one Senior Bowl practice, let us know. I really can't. I know why, but I'll get in trouble if I say it. So I don't know. Somebody gonna tweet this out, and it'll end up coming back to me. But so basically, DeJuan Jones, he didn't let nobody know that was gonna be his only Senior Bowl practice. So the Senior Bowl covered up the fact that he was done after one day. So the man basically just went AWOL. So yeah, all that stuff that you guys heard about, like him potentially having a concussion, and then potentially, he just had a really good first day and felt like he didn't need to improve his stock anymore. That was them covering for him. That was not actually the truth. So I don't know, man. Am I becoming like fake media, like hashtag sources gang? I don't know. I've dropped a couple gems. I've actually dropped another gem on the TL a couple days ago that I don't think that a lot of you guys caught on to, but y'all are probably gonna find out tomorrow. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, Zach, you know what this is. I already sent you that.
Oh, okay.
See, Nick knows. Oh yeah, that was the buzz of the Senior Bowl. See, he knows. I wouldn't even. Here's the thing. I didn't go to the Senior Bowl, and I found that out. So, yeah,
the chatter was interesting down there.
Yeah, there was some stuff there, for sure. Welcome to the fake media family. Let's compare tax returns. Wow. Hey, man, I can tell you right now.
Derrick thinks I'm the one with money. So,
hey, man, this dude's got Patron, and he was giving away. He was giving away.
We
all
gave away another
stuff.
jersey, by the way. Like, not the one that I told you about before. We ended up giving another one away because I was feeling it after we picked Washington.
Interesting.
Which I feel like is understandable.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. I mean,
I was riding a high.
Was that just I'm riding a high? Let me look in my back pocket and see if I can find a Steelers jersey to give away. Like, where'd you get it? Did you just
No. It's not. They get to pick who it is from the draft class. Any player that they just picked the last 2 games or 2 nights. So 2 games.
Is this new job that you had? Are you like working for Google?
Bag has been secured.
Yeah, I'm working within the cloud.
Okay. Copy on that.
His sources can't tell you where he's working.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, good for you, man. I mean,
I'm sure you're going to somehow find out what I'm doing, but
okay. Copy on that. Anyways, yeah, I feel like my chat's going to start getting mad at me because I haven't given away a jersey.
Tyler said Smitty needs to explain why I said that. That's a double M from 105.9 the X thing.
Oh, he said
tax
compare.
Returns. Yeah.
Hey, we can compare tax returns. It's fine with me. I ain't got nothing to hide. Nah, I don't know, man. DB holding out the big info. I mean, it is what it is.
It is. Yeah, listen, it's not. I
There are
don't know how much more there is to add. Like it's.
Yeah. It just
they're not taking him.
They're
not taking him, and there's a lot of teams that are obviously not touching him.
Yeah. There's a reason he's still on the board at this point in time. Man.
That's the biggest thing right there.
Did I just see Noah Souls' name get dropped?
Yep.
We're desperate. We're desperate.
We're name
for
dropping,
linebackers. We're desperate for inside linebackers.
Once Dorian Williams went, my mind was only on Servassier Dennis or nothing at inside linebacker.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how you view Herbig, which we talked about him as kind of like a tweener-ish player.
Yep.
But
sure.
Yeah, interesting player for sure. Yeah, Sewell, man, like I just did not like I didn't like the 22 tape. It was brutal. And honestly, like I feel bad for Sewell because like I try to do this thing where if I see somebody play really poorly live, I clear it out of my mind so that when I go back and watch the film on later games, I try not to be biased. And watching him against that Georgia offense, the first in the opener, bro, just it stood in my head forever. And it was every game that I went back and watched him, I was like, this dude he's just not doing it for me. So, Bryce Ford Wheaton, Zach talked about him just a second ago. I mean, just for the Steelers, I don't want them to take a receiver. Even if it's in the 7th, I'd rather them do something else, like take Robert Beal or, some type of depth. Just because, like, I think the receiver room at this point, like, does he even have a path to the roster? I mean, he would need a really good camp. I'm not saying, like, Calvin Austin and Miles Boykin are, I guess, like 100% roster locks. But man,
Bryce Ford Wheaton, that West Virginia offense sucked last year. JT Daniels was atrocious, and there wasn't really another pass catching weapon.
Isn't he playing again this year though? That's the thing. Redemption season. He's not playing this year. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
Did he transfer again?
I think I thought he transferred again. So
I swear, I'm pretty sure he's like 27, 28. He's like the same age as Hendon Hooker.
Brandon Whedon, baby, same guy.
Let's see here. JT Daniels is at Rice. Yep,
there it is.
There you go. We'll be talking about him next year in the cycle, or maybe the year after that if he goes back.
It's 2025. 2025.
But anyway, that offense was atrocious. Bryce Ford Wheaton was the only pulse of the offense that they had, and he absolutely cooked Pitt. So if you're looking for one game to go back and watch Bryce Ford Wheaton, it would be against Pittsburgh.
There it is.
Hey, maybe that's where the link is. I don't know. Be interested to see what happens, man. I think I gotta get off. I still have to do this video, and I need to go take a nap. So appreciate you guys. Yeah, I appreciate you guys hopping on with us. I appreciate Zach and Jake for hopping on with me and doing the stream. Y'all make sure to go follow them as well. There is all type of content already on my channel. There's a Broderick Jones film room. There's a Darnell Washington film room from like a couple weeks ago that's on there. If you guys want stuff to watch and y'all just can't go to bed,
somebody else might also have a Darnell Washington video.
Do you have one?
Jake does.
I do.
Jake, you have one? Okay, so there you go. You can watch all the Darnell Washington content that you could possibly consume.
There it is.
So yeah. Do that. Go hit up.
Like watching Lord of the Rings.
Jake, can you drop your channel in the chat real quick so that they have it?
I think.
I have so many tabs up that I'm scared if
Taylor's tripping right now, bro.
Can I comment?
Taylor, you're wild. I've had enough. You guys, what are y'all on, man? A pre-draft stream for day 3. You know what? We'll do it. I'm just kidding.
Oh no,
I don't know.
My guy.
Yeah, depending on how things are going, Jake was talking about possibly a post because obviously that would be like a full draft wrap-up thing. So
okay,
wanted to bring in a lot of people for that. Little round table action.
Okay,
it doesn't seem like I can comment. I don't know.
I love the Steelers draft.
All right, hang on. Let me get Jake's channel for you guys.
I can put it in private chat, but I don't know how.
Put it in private chat, and I'll link it in there. But yeah, like I said, the Broderick Jones film room is up on the channel. There's a Darnell Washington film room up on the channel. Y'all can go back and watch Smitty's stream for the draft. I mean, whatever you guys want to watch, there's plenty of content on YouTube available. I'm also going to be dropping the next video on my channel is going to be a Joey Porter Jr. film room. So hit the notification bell. It will be up by the time a lot of you cats get up in the morning. I will probably not be going to bed at that point. But that's the next thing up on the channel. So hit the notification bell. Make sure y'all subscribe, like this video, all that good stuff. Again, we appreciate you guys hopping on. It's been a blast.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, let's end this date. Let's end this NFL draft weekend on a bang. So
yeah,
holla at you guys later. Peace and love.